For anyone that's new to my channel, I'm just going to do a little sweep around of my sewing room. This was just enlarged last year by my wonderful husband and his wonderful son, who worked diligently on making a bigger sewing room for me. Originally, the slanted ceiling was the end of my sewing room. So I've gained all of this extra space over here, which has just been absolutely wonderful. I only had really like this space along this wall. I had my ironing board over on this wall. So it's made a humongous difference to have all this extra space. And I love my little pegboard where I've got things hung up over there, and certainly all of my thread that I feel very honored and privileged to be able to have. So, what I'm doing with the vertical sashing this time, I used to number all of my blocks. Realize I really don't need all of those little pieces of paper and all of those pins. So what I'm doing is I made one that's lettered A, B, C, D, E, and F for each of the rows. So I make sure, because once I do all the vertical sashing for a row, I'm taking off all of these extra numbers as I do them. So this time we'll see how long they last, if I can get it through all 6 rows. But I'm just doing the 2, 3, 4, and 5 numbers, and I'll put them on the next row when I start joining the next row. And that's just to make sure that I know everything is in the correct order. So I've got A1 here, and I've got B1, and C1, D, E, and F at the beginning of each row. And then as I join them, I'll put on the extra numbers. And for anyone that hasn't seen these before, the vertical sashing, the first step is attaching it to this inside piece of the block. So it gets attached to this block, the second block, the third block, and the fourth block. It does not get attached to the last one, because when you attach it, I'm going to be attaching this to the sashing that's on the back. So I might not do this in a whole lot of detail, but hopefully you can get a sense of how it all works. So I'm going to start pinning on my strips onto my first row.